Hello everyone, this video series is for the course CLL 110 for which I am taking tutorials. So this is a transport phenomena course. Today we will talk about how to represent vector and tensors. A vector, as you know, has a direction and a magnitude associated with it, and it can be written in terms of its components in three directions of coordinate system, that is x y z or r theta z or r theta phi. So we will use Cartesian coordinates here. So this can be written in terms of vxi plus vyj plus vzk, where Vx is the component of vector v in x direction and I is the unit vector, Vy is the y component, j is the unit vector in y direction. Similarly, Vz is the magnitude of the component in z direction and k is the unit vector in z direction. Now, because physicists use these vectors a lot, for example force, velocity, so these vectors come a lot and there are multiple operation in these vectors. So if we want to write the components of vector, writing this whole thing becomes very cumbersome. So physicists came up with a new representation, that is, we can write it in terms of v1 delta 1, v2 delta 2 and v3 delta 3, where v1 is the component in x direction, v2 in y, v3 in z direction or first, second and third direction, and delta 1, delta 2, delta 3 are the unit vectors in those directions. And sometimes you also see representations like v1 e1, where e1 is the representation of the unit vector in a particular direction. So this can also be written in terms of summation, where we can have an index I going from 1 to 3 and we can write the magnitude and the directions in terms of that index I. So this is equal to I going from 1 to 3 Vi Ei. But physicists said this is also very cumbersome. So if I want to write a vector, why should I have to carry all the time this unit vector and the summation sign? So I will do away with the summation sign and unit vector. So my vector I will represent as Vi, where I is a free index. If I have written in terms of this notation, then I will always have a summation sign with it going in all the direction and a unit direction or unit vector associated with it. So this is called Einstein notation, which is generally used. So there are some rules that we follow when we write Einstein notation, which I will elaborate on now. The first rule is that whenever we have a free index I, there will be a summation sign and a unit direction associated with it. And we represent each vector in an expression or an equation using different index or different indices. What does this mean? That if we have, let's say, an expression where we have a vector A which is in some operation with vector B and combined they are in some operation with vector C. So these operations can be different. So then if I want to write it in terms of Einstein notation, then I will write A with an index I with some operation with B and B with an index J and with some operation C with an index K. I will always use different indices to represent different vectors, and all these indices will have a summation sign and direction associated with it. Then second rule is, when the indices repeat, it signifies a dot product. So that means, suppose I have an Einstein notation A I B I C K. So when I is repeating, so that means there is a dot product between these two vectors and this becomes a scalar. There is still a summation sign associated with I, but there is no direction associated with I if I is being repeated. So repetition once is allowed if there is a dot product. So if I say that A dot B, then this can be written as AI dot Bj, because every vector we represent in terms of different indices, and then when we use the dot product, this will become AI Bj del Ij, where del Ij is the Kronecker delta. And when we use Kronecker delta, if we want to replace this Kronecker delta, we can replace J with I. So this becomes AI and Bi, and now index I is repeating. So that means we have a dot product between A and B. Then the third rule is that the repetition of indices cannot be more than 2 times. So suppose if I have written AI, Bi, Ci, if AI, Bi is a scalar and still there is a summation, then there cannot be a Ci, there is some mistake, or this is not a way to represent a vector or a tensor quantity or an operation between vector tensor quantities in form of Einstein notation. So this will be wrong. Then a guideline is that when we are trying to represent an equation which has a left hand side and right hand side, for example, if we have A, B, and then some operation C, then on the right hand side also we are using same vectors A, and we have some other operation with C, and then we have some other operation with B. Then we try to use same index on both sides for same vector. For example, if we want to write this equation in form of Einstein notation, and it can be an inequality also, so this can be greater than equal to or less than equal to quantity. So if we have a left hand side and right hand side where we have an equality or inequality, then we can write in Einstein notation as AI some operation with Bj, then with some operation with Ck. For A we will use I, for C we will use K, and for B we will use J. So we will try to use same indices on both the sides. And then next is the tensor quantities. So in tensor quantity we have two directions that are associated with one magnitude. For example, stress tensor. So if we want to have a stress tensor, now suppose this is a box, then if we want to define axis, let's say this is x, y and z axis, then in these x, y, z axis, if we choose this particular surface, on this surface we can have a force in x direction, we can have force in y direction, we can also have force in z direction. So that means if on a surface which has area in z direction, we can have direction of force in x, y or z. So if we want to write force per unit area, which is tau, a stress tensor, then this can be written in terms of a tensor quantity which has two directions. The j is the direction of force and I is the direction of area. So this is how we would represent a tensor quantity, and a tensor of second order tau ij will have 9 components, which we can write in form of a 3 by 3 matrix, where we can write I and j in different directions. So now we will do all of these with the help of tutorials, and I will solve that tutorial from the next video. Thank you.